I know I've spoken to a number of people. I know a few people have already began to sell the product. And in fact, we've had a lot of activity. In the last few weeks, we've had quite a bit of activity on this. So we will be answering a lot of the questions. So first thing is, why do we offer this product? Why does an energy efficient solution, what is it that it offers our clients? So just in a summary, one, it helps reduce the energy consumption anywhere from 10 to 35%. In fact, those numbers are conservative. It's actually more than that, but what they give a guarantee on is 10 to 35%. It also extends the life, the HVAC system life. So that's of course, a very expensive appliance, so it extends the life. There's immediate savings to the client because they're using less energy. It's making their home more energy efficient. It increases the comfort throughout the entire home, and we'll explain how it does that in a little while. The other thing is it's a quick installation, so it's not a prolonged process such as a major remodel or even it's a lot quicker than installing a solar. The home also receives Fannie Mae recognition in the form of a Pearl certificate. Again, that's something I will be explaining in a little while. So those are the things that we're going to be covering in a nutshell today. The reason why we're venturing into this, because it does give us a competitive edge. Now, we talk about, as a sales organization, we can either compete by talking bad about a competitor, and a lot of people do that, or we can compete with distinctions. This does give us a distinction that when you have, especially when you're competing, let's say a third-party ownership, what are you competing with? You're competing on production and you're competing on payment. This gives us a competitive edge because not only are we competing on payment or production, but it's a product that most companies are not able to offer their clients. So again, we'll talk about that. It adds value to our clients. So it's not just a one solution, solar in this case, but there's added value, comfort, energy efficiency, intelligent controls on their system. And again, we'll talk about that in a little while, a little bit more in depth. This is also an alternative solution. So most companies, if you have, you have a true up bill, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, whatever it might be, most solar companies, they have one solution. The solution is normally adding a second system or adding additional panels to their existing system. So this is an alternative. It's more cost effective. It's cheaper for the client, and it's a quicker process. We'll explain that. For the sales team, it gives us an opportunity for increased sales. You're selling more products. So I mentioned earlier how this is an alternative solution, and this may not be the solution for everybody, but this might be the right solution for some people. So it's more tools in your tool belt. It's another product where you can earn a commission and give your client what they need. So it's like almost, if you have a car dealership and all you sell is cars, there might be some people what they need is a truck, right? So as simplistic as that example is, that's how this works. For some people, solar is the best way to go. For other people, it's the energy efficient package. And for some people, it's a combination of both. So again, we will be talking about that a little bit more in depth. So let's see, give me 1 second. Let's see, slide 3. Now, this is some good information. I would encourage everybody. In fact, I'm excited about this partnership. This company who we have partnered with has been in business for, in fact, they're going on close to 15 years at this time. They started off in the commercial space. This is, there's proof of concept. In other words, it's tried, it's tested, and it's proven to have positive results. So they have completed over 1,200 commercial projects. This is not counting the residential side, in over 18 countries. The savings are in the hundreds of millions of dollars. So in fact, if you look up the company, it's called Madison and EcoStella. But what caused them to venture, and this is quite interesting, what caused them to venture into the residential space, because they were very successful, and they are very successful in the commercial space, was COVID. When COVID hit, all of a sudden you have all these commercial buildings that they were no longer going into their office, right? So they had to make somebody else is joining. They had to pivot and go into the residential space, because at that time, when you don't have people going into the offices, if we could have, when you don't have people going into the office, so that's what caused them to venture into residential. So a lot of the success that they experience in the commercial space is the exact same stuff that they use in the residential space. So you know, companies like McDonald's, Taco Bell, Papa John's, Hilton, Subway, Pizza Hut, and on have used this to save money. So it's the same technology. And one misconception, in fact, when this was just presented to me early on, I had a misconception of what it was that they offered. You know, I was under the idea that, you know, they just put together a bunch of stuff that you can pick up at Home Depot, and then they added them to their HVACs. And that's not what they have together. This company has partnered with, there's some adventures, people that have invented technology, that have created patents, but they didn't know how to get it to market. So pretty much they partner together, and it's equipment that you're not going to be able to just go off and get off the shelf. So a lot of this stuff is you might have things that are similar, but it's not exactly the same. So again, it's tested, it's tried, it's worked, it's saved corporations millions and millions of dollars. So again, there's proof of their success. So in case there's any questions about that, they have a history of success. Any questions before we move forward? No questions? Okay. Okay, so what problems does this solve? So the technology behind HVACs is outdated technology. In fact, I found this quite interesting. In 1887, Nikola Tesla invented an induction motor, and most HVACs that are in existence right now, that's the type of motor that they use. So 80% of HVAC systems, they have what's called a single speed motor. We'll explain that a little bit more. HVACs are the highest energy consuming appliance in a home. So depending on who you look up online and what data you look at, on the low end, an HVAC is responsible for 40% of the energy that a home consumes. Okay, 40%. And then from there it goes up anywhere from 60, 70, and 80%. But even if you use conservative numbers of 40 or 50, which are conservative, HVACs are still responsible for the highest or the most of the energy that's being consumed by a home. So the intelligent controls that are part of the packages are able to save and offset the client's energy consumption quite a bit. So let's go through this. Let's go through the different pieces. The Stella Prime is the fan compressor or optimizer control. Okay, the existing HVACs fan continues to run 90 seconds after the thermostat has reached the desired temperature. So let me explain how this works. So if you have a thermostat, and if it's positioned in the right place, in fact, not even if you don't have the thermostat in the right location, if it's under a vent, it actually can cause your system not to function correctly. But let's just say it's positioned in a good location in the home. After it reaches the desired temperature, the fan continues to work for 90 seconds. Okay, so with the intelligent controls, what it does is it makes sure that all the cold air that's in the ducting is used. And let me use this example. Okay, so if you turn on your air conditioner, and I know this is just for easy explanation, so you can see how this works. if you turn on your air conditioner, let's just say you turn it on for 5 minutes. Okay, what happens in the attic? So the attic, it's hot in the attic. The ducting and all that is very hot. So if you turn on the air conditioner for 5 minutes and you turn it off, well, the air in the ducting is still hot. It hasn't even cooled down yet, right? So it's pushing out even cold air into the house. Now, that same air conditioning, let's just say you had it running for 20, 25, 30 minutes. Okay. What happens is the ducting, it's cooled. And then when the thermostat reaches the desired temperature, it turns off. Under existing HVAC systems, the fan continues to run for 90 seconds. Okay. But data and research shows that that is not sufficient. What happens is you turn off, you get some of the cold air out, but the vast majority of the cold air is still in the ducting. So with the intelligent controls, it pushes all the cold air that's in the duct, the energy that's already been consumed to produce the cold air, it pushes it all out. So sometimes it runs for 90 seconds, sometimes it runs for 4 minutes, depending on the need. So it's intelligent controls that make sure that you use all the cold air that's being produced. So it's not either throwing out hot air and it's not retaining the cold air that's in the ducting. If you have any more questions about that, that's kind of key, because when you retain the cold air in the ducting, it causes your system to have to turn on more often. But when you throw it all out into the home, then your system's not turning on and off as often. Okay, so the Stella Prime, which is just one of the components that's part of our packages, and this is on all the packages. It's maintenance free, and it's limited lifetime warranty. Okay, so that's the Stella Prime. There's more to it, and I'll explain a little bit, or that gives you a nutshell of what it does. The other component is a Stella APC. If you could see my my mouse pointer, it's a Stella APC. Okay, so when the HVAC system is turned on, it has one speed. It's full throttle. So it remains at that full speed the whole time that the HVAC is turned on. Okay, so that's just inefficient. Just like you would not, press on the gas on your vehicle from stoplight to stoplight, because that would cause you to use more energy. That's the same thing when it comes to, that's how your HVAC currently functions. It has one speed and it's full throttle. So this control converts single speed HVACs to adaptive or variable speed motors with learning capability. So it with the smart meter, it pretty much figures out what temperature they like to maintain the home. So again, it goes from a single speed motor to functioning as a variable speed motor. So again, when you're trying to pick up, just like a vehicle, you're trying to pick up speed, what you do, you step on the gas. But once you have reached the speed that you want, you're no longer pressing on the gas. You're just maintaining that speed. That is what this does to that's what this does to your HVAC system. Okay. It also has soft starts. It soft starts the motor. Okay, that limits the energy needed to ramp up the fan. Again, then we're talking about energy efficiency. So the other thing that this does, because it has a soft start, is this becomes more compatible with more batteries. So for example, when you're getting a backup battery, and if you have a 4-ton, 5-ton HVAC, then there's some batteries that won't even start that HVAC if it's on backup mode. It requires it being tied to the grid. So with the soft start, more batteries are compatible to start the HVAC. So again, and it's and it's energy efficient because it's not using full throttle from the very beginning. Okay, I hope that's making sense. It monitors the return air temperature and wraps fan speed back down and closer. The closer the room gets to the desired temperature. So let me explain it this way. Hot air rises, right? And cold air drops down, right? So what happens is when that fan turns on, automatically, as soon as that fan turns off, because it's not built efficient, the hot air rises, cold air drops. So right away, you begin to feel the comfort level change in your home. So that's like another example. So if you go into the salad dressing aisle at the grocery store, right? You have these certain dressings that the oils on top and the ingredients on the bottom. You have to shake it. Well, that's what happens to the air. With the Stella APC, it's keeping monitors. It monitors the temperature in the room, and it's pretty much keeping it at a more comfortable level. Does that? I hope that makes sense to everybody. That's because that's a big benefit and one of the ways that it keeps your home more energy efficient, because it's not just on and off. It maintains the temperature as needed. Okay. That comes with a 3-year warranty, and it does extend the life of the HVAC system. Okay, now we're going to go to this third one. If you see my mouse, that's a SimCat 360. Let me drink some water. Okay, this is a one-time application. It's a lifetime warranty. So on HVACs, there's a process called oil fouling. That just happens on HVAC systems. So oil fouling occurs when oil from the compressor mixes with the refrigerant and coats the inside of the cooling coils. Okay, so picture it this way. It's like the arteries for your heart. Okay, what happens when your arteries gets clogged up? So that's what happens to the coils. But on an HVAC is a little bit different because it's adding a layer. It's adding like an insulation to the coils. Now, that insulation prevents the air from getting as cold as it should get because it's insulated. It's not the air is not connecting or to the actual coils. There's some insulation, so it reduces the heat transfer or the temperature transfer and system efficiency. So oil escapes from the compressor, mixes with the refrigerant, and circulates through the coil system. The oil then builds up on the coil surface, forming deposits and restricts heat transfer or temperature transfer. Okay. Oil fouling causes 20 to 30% reduction in system efficiencies. If it's an older system, it could be up to 40% less efficient. Okay. It also increases drag. And what that means is it's like a filter being clogged up. It has to work harder for it to function, right? So it just makes a system less efficient. So the SimCat is a one-time application, effectively removing all oil fouling and preventing future formation. So it keeps it, not only does it clean it out one time, it's not something that you have to do repeatedly, a second or annually or biannually. No, the SimCat, what is used, the technology that is used on this clears it out and prevents future formation of the oil fouling. Okay, so it helps increase or helps the HVAC system reach the desired temperature quicker and decreases the equipment runtime. So because the air gets colder, it reaches a temperature and it doesn't have to run for that long of a time. Okay, so again, these are all things that are included. Of course, there's a HVAC service plan, which in fact, I have a video that I can send out to you. HVACs are supposed to be, they're supposed to be maintained on an annual basis. Pretty much it's cleaned out on an annual basis, because if not, it's causing the system to work harder. And it just wears down, uses more energy and wears down the equipment. So that's all included with with the packages. Okay, now some of these other products are on some of the bigger packages. So for example, AeroSeal. They don't have that here, but AeroSeal is a duct sealing technology that improves the HVAC system efficiency by sealing leaks from the inside out. It uses non-toxic AeroSeal mist, so it's glue, but it's like a mist. So it just runs through the entire HVAC system or the ducting, and it seals the holes and cracks in the ductwork. So a lot of air can escape into the attics, which of course you don't turn on the air conditioner to cool up the attics, right? So the AeroSeal is a solution. Now, if you were to get this by itself, it can cost almost the same price as the entire package. So then they also have just duct sealing. Duct sealing is involves identifying where the leaks and cracks are, which usually it's in where the vents are, and where all the ducting connects. So that is more precise when it comes to location. The AeroSeal sees what the eye can't see. So it's they're both the way of reducing the loss of cold air into the ducting or where you do not want it. Okay. Now, there's more to this. This one's not necessarily an energy efficient one. If you're getting the larger package, it has pretty much it's a purifier. It's an air UVC LED light bar. Again, when they rolled out in the residential side, it was during the time of COVID. So this works with up to 5-ton HVAC systems that's supposed to eliminate the bacteria in a home up to 99%. It's lab tested. Eliminates not just there's other stuff, odors and stuff like that. So lifetime warranty. That one I haven't spent a whole lot of time really studying it. Again, that's not necessarily an energy efficient product. It's more of a clearing and purifying the air. Okay. Now let's talk about comp. Okay, we have 3/4 packages that your client can get and that you can get paid for. Okay, the first one is the Essentials and the Essentials Plus. The Essentials Plus is one that I put together because I just thought it made sense. There's a lot of value to the client. So the Essentials package, the price for that is $2,997. Okay, it includes, if you can see my mouse, it includes these 5 items and the smart thermostat. Okay, so it includes these 5 items. Your comp is $500. Okay, now the Essentials Plus, which in my opinion is the product to sell, includes the synthetic the Syncap oil fouling preventer. Okay, that one's $4,397. Your comp on that one is the same as the Pro package. They're both $1,000. The difference being, the payout on these are going to be 2 to 3 weeks because the process is a lot quicker than doing a solar system. Not only that, a lot less work, okay, and a lot less babysitting. You pretty much, you sell it and you move on to the next one. Okay, so that's the essential package, $4,397, and a lifetime warranty. Oops. The next package is the Pro. This one has everything that we discussed on the previous one, plus the air purifier. Again, that's why I thought the Essential, in my opinion, gives you all the energy efficient at a better price. And so it's $1,200 cheaper. The comp is the same, but for some people, they might want to make sure that their air is pure, and it could be asthma, it could be whatever breathing that they need. So this might be the package that makes sense for them. Okay, so now on this one, in fact, I'll need to go back to confirm. I believe if it's a standalone, the comp is $1,300. I'll have to double check that. And if it's included with solar, it's $1,000. I'm gonna have to double check on that one. Okay. Um, so that's the pro package. And then of course you have the elite. This one has every bell and whistle. It pretty much has everything. We didn't discuss the Emporia. This one right here, it's a monitoring system. You put this into the main panel box, and you connect it with the different. You're able to see where what items, what appliances are using the energy efficiency. So that's one that I did not discuss. All of them include the LED lights, okay, which again, when you do the study behind it, it's actually more energy efficient than people even consider. Lighting is huge. In fact, Isabel and I were talking about it earlier today, and I know she had some training on the efficiency of lighting, and it's big. So you get your value when you change to LED lighting. So one thing I did not discuss that is huge, and it is included on all the packages, is a pro certification. So whether you're getting the smallest package, which is the essentials, or you're getting the elite, which is the $10,000, $9,997 package, and your comp is $2,000. It includes a pro certification. Okay, the pro certification is recognized by Fannie Mae. If you don't know what Fannie Mae is secondary market that regulates conventional loans. There's Fannie Mae, there's Freddie Mac, that regulates conventional loans in the mortgage industry. Okay, so Fannie Mae requires that if your home is designated as a pro certified energy efficient home, that the appraisal agents have to take that into consideration in the value of your home, and it increases the value of your home by 5%. That by itself, I mean, if somebody was planning on selling their home, that's going to pay itself off on any of these packages a couple of times. Okay, so again, the pro certification is pretty much a designation that that home is now energy efficient. And you could have the same home right next door, identical home, same, same yard, same roof, same all this stuff. But if one home is designated as pro certified, it's going to increase the value by 5%. Okay, so that's all included in the packages. Now, one thing, let's go over how the financing. Okay, let's go over the financing. So on the essential package, let's just say you get the essential, not the essential plus. Your energy efficiency is going to go up 10 to 15%. Okay, 10 to 15%. If you get the financing by the National Energy Improvement Fund, it's up to a 10-year. It's not recorded like a UCC filing, like a solar. Okay, so this is considered an unsecured debt. The payment on that is $36 to $45 a month. So if you have a client that has, let's say, a true-up bill of $1,000, $1,500, okay, and you're making their home 10 to 15% more efficient, you could see that there's immediate savings. Okay, if you choose to get the Essentials Plus package, which includes the oil fouling application, okay, the energy efficiency on that home goes up 20 to 25%. That's what the energy efficiency of that home improves. So the payment on that, again, this is if you're doing a standalone. If you're doing a standalone, they're just getting this because they have a true-up bill or whatever it is. The payment, depending on credit, can be anywhere from $66 to $83. If they have good credit, it's going to be $66. If it's bad credit, it's $83. Again, you compare that to a true-up bill, $1,500 true-up bill, $2,000, $3,000 true-up bill, and you could see this can solve that. Now, if you're going to the elite package, well, let's see, do I have the pro? Let me take that back. I made a mistake. For the Essential Plus, the client's payment will be $53 to $66. Not what I just said, not 66 or 83. So for the Essential Plus, using the National Energy Improvement Fund, their payment would be $53 to $66. That's for the Essential Plus. Okay. On the Pro package, again, using that same fund as a standalone, your comp is $1,000. The payment for your client would be anywhere from $66 to $83. Again, tied to their credit. Okay, and when you compare these numbers again with the true-up bill, that's where you see this can be an option for them that's going to save them money. Okay, then when you move up to the Elite, this is the one that has everything. It's the most expensive, $9,970, $97. The payment is $121 to $150. Again, tied to credit. Now, one thing, when I was talking to our partners at EcoStella, the pricing that they use is clear across the United States. So you have states like New Mexico, Arizona, where the cost of living is a lot cheaper than it is here. They're paying the same thing for the packages that we're paying in California. So if we see, it's an easy sale, then we may, then we can talk about increasing the price. Again, we want to add a lot of value to our clients, but if we can add an extra $500 or $1,000 and increase your commission, then we might look at that down the road. Okay, because again, the value is there. So the energy efficient package Elite increases the energy efficiency by 30 to 35%. Okay, so it makes your home a third more efficient with this package. So again, if they have a true-up bill of $4,000, you could just see how this is just so much more cost efficient. Now, if you choose to add this to let's just say it's an add-on to a solar, okay, of course, based on the system size, based on, okay, are they doing an escalator or not doing an escalator can affect. But I did one sample. I know we had done some quotes for Gemini today, so I just use that as an example. So on doing the Essentials Plus, affected the payment $22. $22. I did it. That's what the sample I used was with a 3.9 escalator. So, I mean, you're making your home 20 to 25% more efficient, and it's costing the client $22. The other way to use this is you can make the system smaller because the home is now more energy efficient. You can get rid of 3-4 panels. Okay, so you can think, well, if I make the system smaller, my commission is going to be less. Well, no, it's not, because if you get rid of 3 panels, 400 kilowatt systems, your commission went down $120. But now you're making your clients getting a more energy efficient home, and you substitute that 120 for $1,000. Okay, or if you got rid of 4 panels, 400 kilowatt panels. Okay, your commission went down $160 on the solar side, but you made more on what the energy efficient packages. I know this is a lot of information. Let's see, right there would be a good time to pause and see if there's any questions. Anybody?
Yeah, I have a question. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yep.
So my question is, like, can they extend the warranty on the other thing for, like, because it's only like 3 years. Is there a possibility for it to extend? That's what happens if it malfunctions like 3 years or after 3 years.
So so some of these are lifetime warranties, some of them are 3 years. When they do the tune-up, that's a 1-year tune-up on the HVAC. But so what they're doing is they're not rebuilding the system. Okay, so these are pretty much their plug and play. I don't know if you were on the very beginning. So these are you have people that have patented some equipment that they can add on. Okay, so on this one, they can get that one item without going through the whole package and add it back into their system, okay, if they want. So to answer your question is, if you're talking about the Stella APC, that one, it's a 3-year
Right.
warranty. It's yeah, it's a 3-year warranty. And um, we could see what that price for that one by itself is. But I don't think there's a way of extending the warranty. I'll ask the our partner to find out for sure. That's a good question, but I don't believe they can without replacing it. Now it's not going to be the cost of the whole system, right? Again, the HVAC should be tuned up every year. So if they go out in year number 3 just to clean out the HVACs, and they could easily add that. It's really takes the technology is what causes them to save money, but to put it in, it's a real quick process. In fact, the client can put it in themselves. There's videos where they can put it in themselves on some of this equipment. So I know that's not the yes that we were hoping for, but my understanding is we can at this time.
Okay, so um my other question is, I know that it was mentioned on the previous training that we had before that they can get what is that? Is that a rebate or something for making the HVAC more energy efficient? Correct me if
Yeah,
I'm wrong.
yeah, that I'm gonna have to do in a follow-up. I don't know the answer to that because some of it is because this product, of course, it's throughout the United States and the different markets we're in. I'm not sure if there's one that's federally, and you might know better than I do on that one, but I don't know the answer to that. I will get that from. My goal today is just to go through the information on what's covered and what the process is. But I'll find out the answer to that one. That's a very good question. Very good question.
Okay.
Sorry, I wish I had all the answers. I don't have the answer to that one.
No,
Okay.
it's okay because I'm not sure either. Because I just overheard it, I think, before, and I
Mhm.
just wanted to confirm before you know what I mean, before I pitch this to the client. I don't want to say, hey, you're getting this,
Right. Well, and part of it is sometimes oversharing because the value is there. When you're making a home 20 to 25 to 30%, 35% more efficient, the Pearl certification by itself makes it where they're pretty much getting more value. If they just got the Pearl certification, that gives it more than the value necessary. Again, the other stuff, there's a lot of value here. So I'm not sure if we have to necessarily try to have to bring in more value because it's already there. Sometimes if there wasn't a lot of value, then yeah, let's try to bring out as much as we can. But there's a lot of value in these packages for what they pay for it. So yeah. All right,
I
let's go through the process. Okay. So it's a lot easier. This a lot easier than selling solar. So if you go into our intake form, at the very beginning of the intake form, all we need is the client contact information, what package they want, if they have any adders, like if there's anything that they want that's not part of the package, and the price, the price you sold it. There's only 4. That's it. You're done. So, in fact, Caleb, can you pull up that portion of the intake form, and then I'll let you share that screen. Okay, so that's what you would do. You don't even need a utility bill. I mean, if you have the true up bill, you can use that to sell, but you don't even have to turn in a utility bill on this. Okay, so it's a very simple, straightforward process. Client contact information, which package they want. Then after that, you do the energy assessment. Okay, and if you look at, I had provided this earlier. Okay, the energy assessment, there's a few questions. Again, contact information. If you're doing the Essential Plus, and the Pro, there's only a few things you need. You only need the data tag on their HVAC. If it's on the roof, don't worry about it. But if it's the data tag on the HVAC, here's a sample of what it looks like. Okay. And then you only need a picture of the thermostat. Okay. And then if you're able to pop off the thermostat, you're able to see how many wires, 1, 2, 3 wires. That's it. That's all you need. It asks for more stuff. You know, if you don't know this, the whole reason of them getting the tag is because it lets you know if they have a variable speed. 80% of HVACs don't have a variable speed. Okay, so most of them are going to be efficient, are going to qualify for this. I know Kentrell had a client that used to own an HVAC company, so she had the variable speed because she knows the benefit of it. So again, very few people, they buy what's on the market, and that's it. So most people will qualify for this for the benefits of this. So again, picture of the HVAC data tag, picture of the thermostat, pop it off and see how many wire it has. It'll ask you general questions. Do you know if it has variable speed? Most likely the answer is going to be no. And do you know the age, how old, how long have they had it? Okay. Now, when you are doing the Elite package is the one that does the AeroSeal, the insulation, then that's where you have to do a head and shoulder check in the attic. Okay, you got to see how much insulation is up there. See if the ducting has insulation. Take a couple of snapshot pictures of it. If you're able to see the thickness of the insulation. But again, that's only needed on the Elite package. Okay, now your client can provide the pictures. Let's just say it's something you're doing virtual. The clients can provide the picture. Okay, or we can send somebody out, but it's gonna cost $100 of your commission. Now on the Essential Plus, I added that in there. So if you do your own site inspection, or if the client does, the comp is actually $1,100 on it. So, but if you need us to send somebody out, then it's going to cost $100 for somebody to go out there and do that inspection. Any questions on any of that? Okay. Let's see. Let me go back to. Okay, so the energy assessment. Then I sent out the links. In fact, it's.
Oh, I have a question now.
Yes.
Okay, so the question is, let's say I'm going to be dealing with someone. I want to introduce this product instead of solar because he's a tenant. So with him being a tenant, the landlord still has to sign off on this because it's their HVAC, correct?
Well, I mean, if he wants to make the investment, I mean, there might be still benefit from them. You're not doing anything. It's not like you're adding something to the property like panels, something that's going to be recorded with the county, with title on it. So technically, they can do it. I mean, for example, if somebody's a tenant, it makes sense for them to tune up the HVAC because they're gonna use less energy. They're gonna get their money's worth by doing that kind of stuff. So it'd be great if the landlord paid for it, but the values are. I wouldn't do the AeroSeal, of course. I would do one of the cheaper packages. But yeah, it's not something that requires a permitting or anything like that. It's a good question. Yeah. So on the process, of course, they can do a pre-qual. If they pre-qual, the pre-qual is good for 120 days. So if it doesn't, it's a soft hit, so it doesn't even affect their credit. So if they just want to know if they would even qualify for this, because they would go through the pre-qual process. Okay. Then if they decide, you know what, they want to move forward, then they do a complete application yeah, a complete application. Yeah, a complete application, and they're able to move forward. At that point, we would do an order form, and then 2 or 3 weeks later, it would be installed on their home. They do require a 640 credit score. Okay, and again, the financing as a standalone is done by the National Energy Improvement Fund. Let's see, let me go through my notes real quick. I think I missed something. Let's see. What happened? Okay, any questions on any of this?
Just the credit score. So I know it was 2 different credits that they were able to do with their Central Plus. So with the minimum, so I know they have to have a 640 or 650.
640 credit score. Yeah. Now, here's what a lot of people don't know. So it's with TransUnion. What TransUnion doesn't only have one score that they have for a client. There's the strict, and there's 3 different levels. So you could have somebody pull a TransUnion, let's say at a mortgage company, and they'll have one certain score with that mortgage company with TransUnion. They could pull that same credit score at a credit card. It's going to have a different score. So, because it doesn't affect the credit, and because it's a very quick and easy process, just a link that you send them, is have them apply. It's not going to lower their credit score if they do that. Okay. Let's see. Anything else? I know I covered a whole lot.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, about the very first slide you show about let's see here, is about about the EcoStella. Which ones? I'm trying to look at my notes and wrote it down quickly too. Yeah, it's about the EcoStella APC and the and the Prime. I just want to know, I wondered if those at EcoStella, before they met us, if they show pictures of not what the products are, but how to put it up to the HVAC to say this part goes to, is connected to the fan and a compressor, as well as the other part is connected to the fan speed or the fan itself. So that way we can demonstrate, which can be helped to explain how it works, what it does, and show how at the beginning stage this can have their HVAC be in most use efficiently respect to saving 10 to 15%. I just want to know if there like more pictures of how to hook it up. In any case, they want to do it for themselves or have the technician come out to hook the first 2 parts itself up.
Yeah, that's more on the I guess technical installer side. And so our partner pretty much covers the entire United States. So they do the install. I mean, I wouldn't recommend, I personally wouldn't recommend for the clients to install it themselves. The pricing is very good. I mean, what as sales reps, our responsibility is knowing, okay, what does each piece of equipment do? Okay. I mean, and there's some key things that you could say that like trigger statements. Okay. You go from having a single speed motor to a variable speed motor. Okay. And what does that mean? It's not running at full throttle all the time. Or the fan, it's a smart control so that you're not throwing hot air into the home, and that you're making use of all the cold air. You already wasted the energy to make the cold air. You want to make sure it doesn't get stuck in the vents or kept in the vents or the ducting system. So again, it's all about making the system more energy efficient, reducing the runtime of the system, okay, and just giving smart controls. I personally think, in a few years, more companies are going to catch up on this because it just makes sense. It just makes sense. So to answer your question, Dejan, is
Mhm.
no, that's more of a technical thing. I'm sure we can find instructions of how to connect them and where they're connected, but sometimes then we could confuse people with giving them too much information.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so last question. So with the system, just the regular essential. So I know if someone wanted that and then want the essential plus, that's 10 to 15% um making the house energy efficient. Is that correct? And the essential plus is 20 to 25.
Correct. Exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So, yeah, I personally think that's Syncat, that oil fouling has a lot of value. It keeps the system from overworking because it clears the coils from any buildup. So yeah. But you're right. Yeah, if they're looking for the cheapest one, let's just say it's a tenant,
Mhm.
then that might be the route. What was the payment? Did I say it was like $33 or $43
Yeah.
for the home to be $36 or $45 for the
And,
home to
and
be
the
more energy efficient? Yeah.
and the difference is the coil, and that's basically it. Is the oil that goes in the coil is what separates the essential and the essential plus. Is it just that one?
That one,
Uh,
yeah,
that one
exactly.
item? Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Anybody else? Oh, I did one thing. Okay. So when a home, when a home has two HVACs,
Hmm.
okay, you do not need to get two packages. The second HVAC costs $2,497. They put in all the tune-ups, they put in the Stella Prime, the Stella APC, the Syncat, okay? It costs $2,497. Okay, so they're not buying two packages, they're just buying all the direct HVAC stuff. Okay.
So the price doesn't go up at all.
If yeah, $2,497
Okay. Okay.
for a second HVAC. Okay, that's different from two homes on one property. Okay,
Right.
so yeah, because if it's two homes on one property, then they're doing everything for each home, the lighting, the whole thing. Okay.
Does that affect the comp plan different? Can we add more or just kind of keep it standard?
Yeah, no, if it's two systems, let's say two homes with then yeah, you add two packages, you double it up. If it's a second HVAC,
Mhm.
I didn't think about an option of increasing it. I mean, again, once we have three or four, when everybody starts selling and the comfort level, and if it's an easy sell, then we can revisit. I did have that conversation with our partner because I let them know. I said California is more expensive than the rest of most of the country. Of course, there's exceptions, New York maybe, and some other states. But when we have the same price as Arizona, New Mexico, you know, Montana, it doesn't make sense because the cost of living, everything's more expensive here. So if it's one of those things that the team determines, this is an easy sell and we can add $1,000 to this and it's not going to affect our sales, then yeah, why not do that and everybody make more and the team make more commission off of these. Again, we're adding a lot of value and there's a niche, there's a certain client, anybody that has a true-up bill, this might be the solution where instead of you adding a second system, giving them a payment of $150 and, going through the whole 45, 60-day process, jumping through hoops, this will be the solution. That's just a quick solution for that. Anybody else? Let's see, I think I saw some questions. Let's see. Does the total price, well, there's an interest to it. The interest to the total price change when they are financing? No, the price is the same, but of course, then you're paying interest with good credit. It's 7.99. with bad credit, and by bad credit, I'm just talking low credit. I'm not saying bad. It's 12.99. Okay, so that's what the client's going to be paying, 7.99 to 12.99. But the cost of it is the same. There's no dealer fees. There's no dealer fees to that. Okay, I think those are, anybody else before we, and feel free to call me if, if I don't have the answer. I've been very pleasantly surprised dealing with our partners on this. They are so easy. I mean, I've called them every day a couple of times for the last week as I've been studying this. They're easy to get a hold of. If they don't answer, they call me right back. So any questions, Gemini, I am going to write down the questions you had and make sure I get an answer for those. So, yeah. All right. It's a great product. I know there's always a hesitancy when you're unsure of it. I have spent, and this is not an exaggeration, probably 15, 20, 25 hours just studying this, and this just makes sense. It's just a great product. So, yeah, so again, it's not for everybody, but it's a great product for those who it fits. So, all right, we'll call it. If nobody has any other questions, we will end our call today.
I have one last,
Okay.
just a thought. This is applicable to commercial, or there's a different program for it?
So this EcoStella is specific for residential.
Okay.
In fact, on the commercial side, they offer a lot more than just HVAC, a lot more. And I know Isabel is working with that. And a lot of the energy efficient packages that they offer on the commercial side, they are bringing into the residential side. So down the road, we're going to be able to offer other stuff that, in addition to just HVAC. So to answer your question is the pricing is going to be different for commercial, and we don't have those numbers yet.
Okay. Gotcha.
Okay. If nobody else has any more questions, Isabel, anything you want to add?
Nope, I think it was great. I just ran some numbers, and a 35% offset, consumption savings is equivalent to about a 3.4 kilowatt system, whereas a 3.5 kilowatt system is roughly about $10,000 to $13,000. So you're getting the same offset with EcoStella, and you're only paying what is it, $55 to $100 a month, and only spending $5,000 versus a 3.5 kilowatt system that you're spending about $11,000 for. So this is a huge advantage to adding this to either your true-ups, but also if you're doing it as a sole, separate from solar altogether, that might be the savings that the customer needs, and without permits and the labor and the holes in your roof. As a matter of fact, there are companies that are leaning more towards this as the alternative to solar. So solar was the alternative to PG&E, but now these type of systems or these type of packages are becoming very somewhat of an alternative to solar. So it's I would learn as much as we can on products that are like this.
That just there's one thing, and it's big. In fact, I'm glad you said something that triggered a thought. Okay, man, now it slipped my mind. I just had it.
Yeah, Adam.
Yes.
What I was thinking is the simplest way to put it: a 15% savings on your bill. $600 is $90, and you're paying $35 to save $90. So you're not paying anything for it. It's actually paying you to add it.
Yeah.
Simply.
And that's not even taking consideration the Pro certification that, again, it requires it to be added to the value of the home. So that's right on, George. Yeah, absolutely. One thing, because go ahead.
I just thought of something. So with the Essential Plus, what size system would you think that would be? Would that probably be like a 2 kilowatt system or something like that?
Well, so it's a 20 to 25% reduction. So everybody uses a different amount. So if we're using a 10,000 kilowatt system, usage, then yeah, that's what it would be. But if you have somebody that uses 18,000, then 20% of that would be a lot more. So yeah, because it's a percentage of what they use. So
Yeah.
so here's a suggestion, especially for those who've been in the industry for a while. Okay, this gives you a good opportunity to go back and call your past clients. If you have 80 deals, 100 deals that you've done in the last 4 or 5 years, whatever it is, here's a second product that allows you, one, to ask for, if they know anybody, if they're happy with your service, to refer them, but also if they have a small true-up bill or any type of true-up bill, make another sale out of that. The other thing is, if you have clients that get payment shock, they get payment shock is they don't want to make a 25-year commitment, whatever it is, then this would be a solution where they can start off with this. And let's just say they, after 3-4 months, they say, wow, Control sold this to me and it's doing what he said it's going to do. I trust him. Well, what happens at that point is you can get them a solar and wrap whatever, if they still have a balance on this, wrap it into the solar so they can pay off that existing debt. So not only that, but now you're able to size a system, at a smaller system size, saving them additional money because their home is more efficient. Does that make sense to everybody? Good. Let's see, did we have another question? Let's see. Yeah, I mean, definitely, Dijon. Yeah, there's a lot of people that could benefit from this. Yeah, a lot of people that can benefit from this. What our clients pay an electric bill is not even right. I was called last Tuesday. One of the reps has a family member that retired, 70 years old, enjoying retirement, and is having to go back to work simply because his PG&E bill has gone up. So is having to go to work just to cover PG&E bill. So this is a solution to help people in that kind of situation. So, all righty. Hopefully this has been good information. And we will be making some marketing pieces, some nice trifolds, some good stuff that you can take to your clients. And we have some pieces that are on our Telegram that you can post on your social media. All right, we will call it. Thank you, everybody.